One of our advanced no-code feature in NoCodeXpress is the MVVM design pattern combined with no coding. This design pattern is used in JavaScript frameworks such as Angular and Vue. That way, you can easily define state variables that hold data and bind those variables to UI elements just like how you do that with a coding framework. Let me demonstrate how to bind data from an API. I'm using ChipShark API which has data for the best prices for PC games. First, let me copy paste the URL on the browser. As you can see, it gives set of data. And to use the API in your no-code application, you need to add an event under the page navigation. To call the API, you need to drag and drop the block, call third-party API, and then you need to configure the block. Then you need to create a preset. Once you create a preset, you can copy paste the URL and then you need to bind the data to the UI using a state variable. State variable hold data that need to be binded to the UI. Let's call it game data. And then in the block you can configure state variable. Let's try and see. Under the debug, as you can see, the application has called the API and it has received the data from the API. Now let us create a UI to display the data. NoCodeXpress has pre-built partials to speed up your development. Let's drag and drop the partial one row with one column, and there's another partial that you can add to display information like this. And next, let us add a okay, uh, reduce the size of it. And now let us add a repeater so that it will display all the data that is received from the UI. And let's go select game data. And under that, we need to configure the repeater. And let us try and see whether the repeater is working. Yes, the repeater is working, but still we need to display accurate data. For that, we need to bind data to every element and in that box. Let's bind the title first. Now let's bind the thumbnail image. Let's bind the values for the price. Now when you run it, as you can see, it will display all the data that is received from the API. You can also add, extra controls. Let's add the progress bar. Let's resize it. And for the progress bar also you can bind data. Now let's try and see. Yes, it's displaying data from the API. And let's add a tag. Let's just adjust the margin a bit. And for that also, let's bind the parameter. Let's try and see. As you can see, that's how MVVM binding works with NoCodeXpress.